Hi, folks.
Hey, guys.
Guess what? I'm back out here with Cheezehead Chris. He just put 2 bacon-wrapped chicken breasts that are stuffed with cheese and all kinds of other goodies.
Chicken cordon bleu.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken something, yeah.
And then we got 2 pots full of veggies cooking again. That worked so good last week, we had to do it again. Actually, I didn't come out here to eat. I didn't plan on coming back this week.
I didn't want to see his ugly face again this week.
He didn't want to see my ugly face again. So, just a quick update of what happened last week. We had Roger from Our Love of Outdoors stop by, and we visited for a while, and then the next thing you know, we had some pretty major storms come rolling through, and we scrambled to get out of camp before we got stuck in there by, who knows, enough rain to wash that road out. So we all headed out, and I got about halfway home, and I said to myself, uh-oh, I did it again. I left my camera case with my action cam, all my rechargeable batteries, and an SD card on the roof of my truck. So I pulled over and took a look at the roof. No, I was just not there. It wasn't behind the headache rack. It wasn't in the box. So I waited till I got home, sent Chris a message, said, "You won't believe this, but this is what I did."
Believe me, or whatever. Try me.
Yeah, try me. So I told Chris, I said, I don't have any time off until next Tuesday, so I'm going to head up there next Tuesday and take a look for it. I said, I hope I find it. And he surprised me. He got a hold of me a few days later, and he says, I'm up there right now at the dynamite shack looking for your camera bag. And he said, I'll let you know if I find it. Well, then he got back in touch with me, and he says, how big is it and what color is it? And I said, well, here's the bad part.
Show him the bag.
It's only about 6 by 8 and maybe 1.5 inches thick. And you'd think that would be real easy to find, wouldn't you? You know, it's all this bright ribbons and that. No, they weren't on there. I told him, I said, it's camouflage, so good luck finding it in the brush. Well, he said, well, at least you gave me something to look for. Well, he called me back and said, hey, good news. I found the bag. He says, now what? He said, you had batteries and an SD card in it, right? I said, yeah, and a camera. He said, there's no camera in it. I said, oh, no, I bet the camera's within 2 feet of where the bag fell. And he says, well, I'll go back and look again. And he says, I'll let you know if I find the camera. And he said, yes, I did find the camera. He says, so you're in luck. You got it all back. Well, then he said, you need to put a bunch of bright ribbons on that thing in case you do that again. So when I got here today, he says, oh, here's your bag. You think those are bright enough? So I got into the bag to check the contents. Look at my camera. This got so much tape on it, I have to move some to be able to see the lens. There we go. And I think he did that because the camera isn't attached to the bag.
The bag was open.
Yeah, I'll admit it.
So so here's the point in the story is if Sty ever falls down in the woods, nobody's ever going to find him because he's always camouflaged.
I look just like my bag. Yeah. So I'm sure Chris is thinking, yeah, when that bugger falls asleep, takes a nap after all this good food, I'm going to tie about 50 of these ribbons on him in case he falls down in the woods. But Chris saved the day. I mean, I sure didn't want to lose this stuff. Um, and now it should be a little harder to lose. Yeah, he says you need some bright ribbons on there, and he put bright ones on. So that made my visit with Chris last week, which I thought, well, it'll be a few weeks before we can run into each other again. All it did was create a new opportunity to come up and hang out with Chris for another day.
Make another lunch.
A wonderful lunch. I just bacon wrapped chicken breast, stuffed chicken breast, and then boiled veggies on the fire. Yeah. He asked me, "Are you hungry? Do you want to eat something?" I said, "Well, yeah." He said, "I didn't think you'd say no." And he said, "I've got chicken breasts that we can cook on the fire." Well, yeah, I'm staying. It's supposed to thunderstorm tonight, so we got plenty of time to cook and eat. And I, like I always tell everybody, yay, I had a day off, so this is the best way to spend it.
And we're actually spending it. This is the former site of the CC camp. This is where we ate last time. Was the dynamite shack, which belonged to this camp. And this is, if you're to look on Google Earth, whatever, this is just off of Telmark Road. And then there's a little lake over here that's called Camp Smith Lake, and this is where Camp Smith Lake CC camp was at this location. The history here is, I was told, and I might be wrong, that this was the only location that had a double-decker quarters. And my grandfather, as a young man, actually was a cook at this camp, and I was under the impression that my other grandfather was too, but my dad says that was not right, so I don't know. So yeah, you can still, over there on that side, there's the cement foundations and stuff like that. So
yeah,
just a little.
Chris took me for a little walkthrough, and you can find the remains of the camp. There's concrete stairs that come up to this area, and then there's concrete pillars down along the trail in, and then there's a big foundation back over here, and you definitely can tell that they had quite a camp going in here. That's one thing about northern Wisconsin. There were several camps, and this, from what Chris has said, this had to have been quite the camp. So yeah, if you're interested, get online and research some CC camps. Not just here in Wisconsin, in your home state.
Yes, there is a websites out there that.
Yep.
We'll talk about it. Usually they have the roll calls of the people that were in them. I mean, they were all over. They weren't just
right. Almost every state in the union had.
If they weren't CC, well, down south, what they were called.
Yeah, there was a different term.
The
for
Tennessee Authority or something.
Yeah.
I mean, which is more or less the same thing. But,
right.
But yeah, there's a lot of information. I mean, that's a lot of those structures today. I mean, were built. A lot of the roads in this country were built by the CC camps, the fire lanes and stuff like that. There's actually up in Upper Michigan, there's a golf course that they built.
Oh, really?
Wooden log. They got a long wall, stone wall. I mean, but
wow.
It's up in Copper Harbor, Michigan.
Oh, Copper Harbor.
Keweenaw Lodge.
The
big wooden lodge that was all built by CC.
CC.
I mean, it's really, and there's a big lodge, and there's like half a dozen cabins and stuff like that. But it was made by CC. So
that the history of the CC camps is just a wonderful thing to look into, and I am a big promoter that if our government really wants to do something for the young men in this country right now, it's reestablish the CC camps. They do have in Wisconsin, we still have the Wisconsin Conservation Corps. It's very limited, very small. Right. The chapter that we have up in Washburn, Wisconsin, I believe they only have about 15 to 20 participants. These camps would have anywhere from 100 to 300 men in them.
Right.
Very large operations. And they were paying those men a fraction of what it would cost to contract to do these things. And what they did was they gave these young men skills to go out in the real world and be successful. And I think that's something that if our government wants to invest some money, it wouldn't hurt for them to reestablish the conservation corps and give the young people an opportunity to do that.
And I mean, not these were all camps were developed in the during the Depression and stuff like that, and there were guys who were proud. They didn't want to belong to the camps because they didn't want. They were proud men. They didn't want to be part. They didn't want that. They considered like a handout, stuff like that. But
right.
But it really wasn't that. It was just to help them,
right.
like, say, gain skills and stuff like that. You know,
and
build bridges and build roads and buildings
and every conservation corps member, they earned their keep. They worked hard. The little bit of pay they got in a sense room and board, and then they got a small amount of pay. A portion of their pay was sent home to their families, and they were allowed to keep a portion of their pay there at camp. So it taught them a lot of different responsibilities, and like Chris said, many men didn't participate because they thought, oh, well, that's for poor people. I don't want to be titled as needing that help. But those that did participate, boy, they worked hard for it. They worked very hard for it. So check them out. Check out the CC camps. So we're going to wrap this video up. It's another long one, you know. It's Stye's videos. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this one up. We're gonna watch our chicken breasts cook.
Can you smell that? Can you smell that? Can you smell what Cheese has got cooking?
Oh, yeah.
You can smell that thing.
You smell that goodness.
And you can see the cheesy goodness
leaking
out.
Yeah, it's poking out the end of this one. And I'll tell you what. All that smoke going your way, that smells like bacon. Bacon. Yeah. So, there you go, folks. This is Cheezehead Chris and Steinor saying thanks for tagging along. And
keep her cheesy.
Yeah, I totally agree. Keep her cheesy. The cheesier, the better. And you guys are probably sitting there going, yeah, there's a couple of cheesy characters, yeah. So with that, we'll see you soon. You all have a nice day.
Take care, folks.
There we go.
Ready?
Yep. Here we are, folks. We're going to pop these cans open and see what we're going to have with our chicken. Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's just too good. Look at that buttery goodness with the taters, and it's just simmering away.
Oofta.
Oh.
Eat your heart out, Bill Goaty.
Oh, yeah. This one's for you, Bill. Yeah. Sorry, Bill, there's not enough chicken breasts to go around. We'll let you have some potato water. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you betcha.
Yep. Well, folks, we're going to eat.
Just wanted to tease you some.
Yep. So as we said earlier, you all have a nice day. We'll see you later.